Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the excitement, the adventures, and the danger that are 2021. We've got quite a few things going on today, including Larry, which is plowing to the west, but will head straight north and not be a threat to anybody except for maybe Newfoundland. We've got newly designated Tropical Storm Mindy and quite a bit of lightning down south. And then we've got this thing here, which will be moving up into Mexico. And then we've got our next player to be watched on the board rolling off of Africa. The great news is this tropical storm is pretty dang sloppy and should be making landfall within the next few hours. So we shouldn't lose any Floridian lives due to this storm. So that is excellent news. But it will bring quite a bit of rain to the Panhandle and then maybe up into Georgia. So be prepared for that. Pretty please? Okay, thank you. And in the wild ways of severe weather, we've got some areas to watch this evening up in the northeast. And these people need to be careful because remember, this is where we had the storm Ida drop like 7 to 10 inches of rain over tons of people, do a bunch of damage, and unfortunately 60 people died in that storm. So let's be careful out there. And we're looking at the total mixed precipitation over the next 48 hours. And you can see Mindy bringing some rain to the south. You've got a storm that pushes up to the northeast. And then we've got our next wave of moisture that comes on in. And it looks like it brings some rain to California, which is a pretty rare event, so let's be grateful for it if we can. And then we've got solar action on our hands. We have Earth-directed solar flares, and make that 2 Earth-directed solar flares. Giant Sunspot AR2866 just produced a C8 class flare. The explosion caused a brief shortwave blackout over the Americas. As you can see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sunspots. And we had an unexpected solar gust. A gust of solar wind hit Earth's magnetic field on September 7th. The sharp uptick in solar wind speed was unexpected, arriving too soon to be a coronal mass ejection from the B7 class solar flare only 2 days earlier. Whatever it was, it made this happen. There are mysteries all abound, and especially up in the sky. And so buckle up, stay tuned. These are wild days ahead of us. Yeah. Sunspot AR2866 is a big old boy and is almost directly facing Earth, and it's getting bigger. Austrian master photographer Michael Carrer watched it double in size in only 24 hours. So we've got a crazy acting sun, we got crazy acting weather, we got crazy acting people. So be ready for some wild times through September. That is my advice, and that is my opinion. But yes, we definitely live in the most interesting times, and the solar weather is definitely getting more interesting. Did you see that CME pop over here? Very explosive. Okay, so you got these sunspots that are ticking away. Snap, crackle, pop, booming. And then watch this one. Bam. And look at this filament up here. And to me, the sun is still a mystery. And nobody knows what it's going to do next. But it has been increasing in activity. And crazy shiz, man. And so when the sun acts weird, Earth weather acts weird. And people act weird. And sometimes kind of lose their minds. And so stay tuned for more wild action in weather and space weather and human activity. And, you know, we got a bunch of crackling C-class solar flares. Nanu, that was a joke, or that's what Robin Williams used to say on a show called Mork and Mindy. As you know, we do have Mindy, but we no longer have Mork. May Robin rest in peace. Then we've got Chantu out in the Philippines, which is no relation to Chantix, because apparently Chantix will give you bad dreams. But this thing is so small, it's not going to give bad dreams to anyone. So I'll be here jacking, stacking, and tracking all the things, because that is what I do as my full-time job. And be sure and look up to see the beautiful things. Over in Texas, we can see Saturn and Jupiter nightly. And in some parts of the world, I'm talking Canada, you can see beautiful auroras. Jeff Adams, somebody famous once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Thankfully, he doesn't sleep, so I took a shot at driving out to Sylvan Lake, Alberta this morning, and then Lady Aurora came ripping across the sky just before 3 a.m. And he captured some beautiful, magical, mystical shots of the auroras that signify, yes, there's definitely some solar activity that is affecting Earth. And we're definitely keeping our eye on earthquake activity, as we had the 7.0, it was 7.4, and then they downgraded to a 7 in Acapulco, Mexico. Caused tons of transistors to explode. And then you had a major volcano eruption in Alaska. And so, with all the gas giants, the planets, on the same side of the sun, we're looking for an imbalance to work itself out in earthquakes and volcanoes on Earth. And I will keep you guys posted for all interesting things that happen. Okie dokie. And thank you to Bryce and everyone in Astro Fight Club. I now am only $513 away from hitting my September fundraiser goal, which allows me to keep THORnews up and running. So if you'd like to contribute, I got a snail mail, a PayPal, a Venmo, CashApp, and a Patron, and a whole lot of love for y'all. So stay cool. God bless y'all, and I'll talk to y'all in the near future. Peace out.